Good morning, everybody. This is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. It is the 14th of November, 2019. I am in Petersburg, West Virginia. If you've been following the last couple days, I'm here. My trainer is taking a couple days at home, which is great because it gives me a chance to explore a little bit. Rest in a hotel room for a couple days, which is nice. When your trainer comes home for training, Stevens Transport's nice enough to pick up the cost there of the hotel room, so that's good. Anyway, so I'm going to explore just a little bit. This is going to be sort of a haphazard kind of video today. I'm just going to explore what I see, things that interest me, things that I think would be interesting. Don't know how many people ever come to Petersburg, West Virginia, but I will tell you that in the past I've loved exploring places, and small towns are alike in a lot of ways. They all have their history, they all have their things that are great to see. So if you get an opportunity to stop in a small town, or you need to stop in a small town, or just have a few days layover like me, exploring is a great opportunity to do that. So anyway, if you decide that you want to do that, that's a great thing. So like I said, I'm just going to explore a little bit, just get done having breakfast, and we're going to go from there. Have a good So first place I want to start, I just had breakfast at Family Traditions Restaurant. It says daily specials, good food, and it is really good food. It reminds me of hometown kind of stuff. Had some grits. If you're here in the South, you got to have some grits. I love those to start my meal with. Just a little bit of butter on them, some brown sugar, tiny bit of milk, but with a little bit of toast, that's great. And then followed up with an omelet. Talking about family traditions, reminded me of the way my dad and mom used to make omelets, because they used to, besides putting a little bit of, the cheese that they used wasn't the shredded cheese, it was like the sliced cheese, and they'd put a slice in the middle with ham or whatever, and then they'd put a slice in the top and let it melt, and that's exactly what it was like. So it was a nice little reminder of home. But a good place to stop if you're here in Petersburg. They've got some interesting stuff on the lunch and dinner menu. May have dinner here, we'll see. So one of the things you'll see in almost every small town, if you check it out, is a main street of some sort. The smaller the town, the more likely it seems to be going to be called Main Street. But every town has that sort of center street. I know in Albuquerque it's Central Avenue. In Gallup, where I'm from, it's Old Route 66. So there's always that road, but in small towns it's almost always called Main Street. Now, here on the corner of Main Street and Virginia Avenue, you're going to see this building, the Grant County Bank. And it is, I believe, on the historical list. I read something about it. Now, the interesting thing about being here in Petersburg is, while I do have cell phone service while I'm walking around, I don't have... Sorry, that's going to happen today because we're just filming on the go. So I do have a cell phone service, but I'm not able to get internet service to look up details. So what I may do as we go is I may put in little snippets, because I have some Wi-Fi service back at the hotel, where I might put in little snippets about the information about these buildings and things as I find them. So so this will take a little bit of editing to do, but we're going to have some fun with it. So anyway, that's the Grant County Bank. This is Grant County in West Virginia. All right, I hope everyone stay with me. We'll see what we see next. As I walked down Main Street, I came across the Petersburg Presbyterian Church. Now this building, when I walked past it, I could tell that it was a little bit older just by the construction, the look of it. It was actually built in 1837, so it was built pre-Civil War, and it stands today. There's been some additions, you can tell on the back, but the main church has been here and been in use since 1837 as a Presbyterian church, as the corner marker says. So it's a beautiful structure. So a lot of times the word Americana is used when you look at small towns or things like that. And as I walk past these houses, that's sort of what I think about. You know, beautiful houses with the welcome sign on there. 4 beautiful rocking chairs out front on the porch. You know, porches used to be the place where, in a lot of communities, where people used to gather. They used to all, in the evening, sit out on the porch and converse with neighbors, and life was, for lack of a better word, it was a little bit slower. It was, you know, you didn't have all this. There was always walls and everything. I mean, you look over here, and there's no walls. I mean, no walls as far as, or fences to block out others. I mean, there may be some to divide property lines, like some of these short walls here, or retaining walls to protect, you know, from some kind of element, but you don't see as many. One of the things that always interested me in my previous job, I got to travel through Kansas a lot, and one of the things that I noticed was there were whole communities where it looked like they had one huge grass field between the houses, that it was all shared. You had the area right behind your house, but there wasn't any dividing lines, at least that you could see, and kids would play freely and all sorts of things. And I just thought that was just a wonderful, wonderful thing. But as we go, we just see these beautiful houses, you know, older houses, and very stately. When we get back on Virginia Avenue, I'm going to show you some of the houses near the Hermitage that are beautiful and are used for various purposes. So this is the Davis house. It predates the 1840s or 1840. It is known as one of the oldest houses in Grant County. It's even home of the Grant County Historical Society Museum. It's a beautiful house. It's been used for different things. Originally, as the sign says, it was used by the United Methodist Church as a parsonage, and later as a few different kinds of businesses. Now it's home to the Grant County Historical Society Museum. Even some of the newer buildings, you can tell just because of the construction that they're newer. Again, I have no idea how new, but there's really a big effort to make sure that they blend into the historical, or to the area around. It looks like weathered brick and other items have been used to make them fit into the surroundings, so that you don't have this these apartments or places that seem out of date or out of place to their surroundings. So it's neat when communities take the time to do that. So this is the top of Mountain View Street, which is appropriately called. You can sort of see from up here. I'm going to take a different view from a different hill that's a little bit higher, but I just love the look of the road going down into the city, into this nice little town. It's important to stop and enjoy the view sometimes. So this is at the top of a hill where there's a Y where 42 North meets 55 West, or at least that's where the junction is. And I just had to stop just to look, just the beauty in this place over here. It's just gorgeous. So I came up here to Central Tie and Lumber Company. It's at the top of a hill up here near the high school. It's the one place that I could find something I needed to get. But 1919, incorporated in 1919. It's amazing to me. I'm sure, I don't know if it's been in the same family since then, but it's really friendly people in there. I always love going to Ace Hardware stores. They always have, it's always a hometown kind of feel. But again, just a beautiful view. Again, any kind of view I can take. I found one more hill I want to try to get up to. Love to be able to get up to those, but I'm not that ambitious today. but just to check it out. So here we go for another little walk. Okay, everybody. I saw one of these. I think if you've driven anywhere in this country, and your city may have one of these as you enter it, but in a lot of small towns, even some larger towns, you'll see these uh, on small roads leading into the town, or even big major highways, and you really never get a chance to see what's on it. I mean, you may recognize some large logos like the Lions Club logo on this, but you never get a chance to really look at these. So I thought I would check this one out just for the heck of it. Um, to start off, Petersburg, West Virginia, established 1745, so it predates even the founding of our country. Um, and it's some of the stuff that's up here there, you'd see in a lot of small towns. So, for instance, there's the talks about state champions for the high school here, the Vikings. One of the things that I've noticed as I go through town is you're seeing Go Vikings everywhere. I'm guessing that there is a big game coming up, maybe tomorrow or Saturday, but you're seeing it everywhere. I grew up in a small town, not quite as small as Petersburg, but up until about 12 years ago, there was only one high school, our major high school, and that was Gallup High School, the Bengals. And about 12 years ago, they opened up Mira High School, which is named after a famous Medal of Honor winner from Gallup, Hiroshi Mira. If you want to, you can find some movies on Netflix about him, or some documentaries and some things on YouTube. So you've got the Mira Patriots now, but everywhere in Gallup you still see either Go Bengals or Go Patriots, and it's a great thing to see in every small town. But a few other things they're really proud of here: Boy Scouts, of course. Grant County, that's where Petersburg is, home of Miss West Virginia. There were 6 of them, so that's great to know. To be proud of. They were named the Tree City USA by the Arbor Day Foundation for 8 years. It's a bird sanctuary here. Fort Mulligan, you see a Civil War site. I was doing a little bit of reading about Fort Mulligan. It predated a little bit before the Civil War, just slightly leading into it. It's mostly earthen. In fact, 100% earthen foundations, which means there were bunkers digged into the earth. There weren't like walls put up or anything like that. Now, some of the fortifications were reinforced with wood inside the earth, but that lasted for most of the Civil War. And so we're going to get a little bit of noise here, so I apologize for it. But so that's interesting to see. The Independent Order of Oddfellows. Now, I've seen that before. I've heard of them before, but I'm not sure 100% sure what it is. Sorry about that. Just a truck going by. But I may find out and put it up here in the corner and let you know what's going on. Other thing is, Mark was telling me about this home of the golden trout. I saw that coming in Grant County. I guess it's a mutation of a rainbow trout the trout is golden color, and it started here in Grant County. That's where they first found it or saw it, and since then they've sent them all around the country. I'm not sure about around the world, but around the country. And now if you find golden trout anywhere, this is where it started, here in Grant County. So interesting to see this, what this has on there, so you can get an idea of what these signs are about sometimes. So one of the amazing things as you go through here, and you see things, this is the top of Maple Hill here in Petersburg, and you can read this. There's Maple Hill cemeteries here, and I may just go explore a little bit. I mean, it may sound strange to explore cemeteries, but it's all about history. I mean, what we learn, what we see. There are people from, that were prominent here that are buried here, but there are also some Union forces, some Confederate forces buried here. It's just something to remember. History is really, it's important. I mean, I taught history in high school for quite a while, and the old adage, those who ignore history are destined to repeat it. and that's true. So, but I just wanted to just to show you up here off of Maple Hill. One thing, because it's also the highest sort of point, or close to the highest point, it gives you a good view of the surroundings of Petersburg. Again, seeing the colors. The sun's sort of obscured today because of the clouds, but it is beautiful. There are some houses up high up on the ridge and other things, but it is beautiful. So, okay, so I'm not 100% sure what this building is, other than maybe an empty building or some kind of events place, but it's got some statues that I'm really don't understand why. You've got the Blues Brothers, you got Laurel and Hardy, and you got Spider-Man, and I'm not 100% sure why they're here, but they're here in Petersburg, West Virginia, in front of this building. Okay, well, I just got done doing my laundry. Sometimes you got to take advantage of any chance you get to do that. And I'm headed back to my hotel, but I just wanted to record a couple things before the end of the day and close up this video. I was talking about houses, old-time houses, and you'll see some, but a little bit farther down the road you're going to see a little bit more of them. One of the things I like about small towns is that people tend to be very, very friendly. I just had a nice conversation with a lady in the laundromat, and just started talking and, you know, sharing a lot of different things, and it was great to get a chance to have a conversation there and to just to find the time to get that human interaction. I mean, we do, you know, that's one of the things that sometimes we lack, or, you know, I'm new to this, but I know that we'll lack as truck drivers is sometimes that human interaction, and finding whatever way to do that is going to be really important. So there's a few houses I wanted to show you in this walk here on my way back to the Hermitage. And the light is just beautiful right now here in Petersburg. Try to get the sun not to glare in here. There were a couple houses I wanted to show. Just showing you down the road here a little bit. And there's a couple last things I'm going to show, but I got to stop and drop off my laundry at the hotel first. But like I said, some interesting designs. Wanted to show this house, and then in a few minutes I'll show a house that's similar to that, but just the design, that sort of round circular dome, pointed 3-story, looks like a little loft up there. It's just beautiful, and the color, just the light shines off of it beautifully. and then back here to the Hermitage. You can really, if you look, even though there's been changes over time, you can really look and see that this building is more than 150 years old, but it's beautiful. All right, so we're gonna do just one last bit of the video here. I'm gonna close up in a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, there's the last couple things that I wanted to comment on, show you a little bit of before I had to go grab something to eat. This is the old Grant County Courthouse, and they're trying to raise money to restore it. It's a beautiful building. I don't know exactly when it was built. I think there's probably a plaque here that's going to say it is on the National Register of Historic Places. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not sure when it was built, but the thing that I wanted to draw attention to and make a little bit of a comment of is a statue in front of it. So this is a statue that's right in front of it. It's of a World War I GI, you can tell by the uniform. And it has this list of names. It said, dedicated to the men of Grant County who gave their lives in the service of their country during the World War. And what I thought was interesting and struck me, was that even though this place had seen a civil war fought here, it was hard for them to fathom that there would be anything after World War I. By saying the World War, of course that was all that they had seen, but when World War I was called the war to end all wars, that's what people really felt, that it would never happen again. But for all of us who know history, we know it did. And but I thought that was really interesting just to read that. But it's a beautiful building. Like I said, I'm not sure when it was, when the cornerstone was laid on here, but I hope they raise enough money to restore it. They're trying to raise $500,000 to restore it, and I hope they make their goal. So come down just a little bit farther. I wanted to show a couple more houses down here, and see what we're gonna see. Like I said, I hope, you enjoy seeing some of this stuff that you might not get to see otherwise, but I enjoy showing it. I enjoy looking at it. Things that sort of just draw my attention. There's this house right here. In every single window, there's a light, like a candle light. I know they're all electric because they're not flickering, but in every single window, they have a candle. I wonder if there's some significance to that. Even the windows on the side of the house, every single one has a candle. So you never know what the purpose or the meaning behind certain things are, but it'd be interesting to see. I like this house. It reminds me of the one down the way that we saw earlier, the yellow house with the 3-story and sort of a loft kind of thing. This is the Joy Senior Apartments. It's a retirement community. It's called Joy House. I talked to somebody who lives here. It's a nice little community that they have some different apartments inside of it. But I like the pink door offset to the blue of the house. We have a few more beautiful houses down here just before we get to downtown. And that's, you know, and that's about it for down here. Well, I hope there was something that you enjoyed in my tour of Petersburg, West Virginia. I think I can find some interesting things in most places I visit. The history, those kinds of things, that sometimes even people who live here don't take the time to look at. Earlier we visited a cemetery, or I went to go walk through a cemetery. I showed you a picture of it. Just walking through and seeing what you see is really interesting, because it's the history of this place. Some of the names that I saw in prominence in that cemetery, you'll see all over this town. The names of the streets, the names of people, you know, that are here that have lived forever. My friend lives on Judy Street over here, and he was really surprised to know that that's a family name that was very prominent. And then you go through and you look, and you'll see something. It's going to be sort of hard to see. I'm going to see if I can get this in here. But you see a for sale sign, and what do you see at the end? What's the family name? Judy. You know, you see these kinds of things, and it tells you there's so much history in this town. But you'll find history in most towns, you know, and it's important to know that. It's important to understand that, to have some appreciation for not just the history of your own town, but others as well. So as I go about and I have time to explore, I may do more of these just walkabouts, especially the small towns or smaller towns, or parts of larger towns, just to see what it's about, just to see what life is like, or what a place might have been like. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I apologize, but if you did, I hope you watch more of these. And I'll get back tomorrow. We've already got a pre-plan for tomorrow. We're going to be leaving early. We're going to be heading back across the country, picking up down here in Virginia, which I've never been to Virginia, so that'll be another state off my list. So we're picking up in Virginia, running all the way across the country to Utah and then Nevada. So psyched about that. We'll be leaving early in the morning, but one more day of relaxation. I'm going to go have a good meal. I'm going to relax and get everything ready to head out tomorrow. So this is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog, here in Petersburg, West Virginia. I'm driving for Stevens Transport, and I'm psyched. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.